Guys, it's Maggie here with another episode of Dish the Sauce, where we talk about anything and everything live. So today's episode is about red flags, like red flags, relationship red flags. I am sure you have come across a number of them. Some of them have left you wondering, like, what the heck? Some of them are like, you know what? Maybe something you can work on. First of all, I want to thank Kitchen Vibes. Like, oh my god. Like, look at this. I want you to see how soft it is. Look at it. Look at it. This is how it's coming out. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, these chapatis are so awesome. Like, you see that song, like, smooth like butter? This is it. Like, the salt is not too much, and they are soft, and the weight, they're not very heavy, like, good weight. So, have you grabbed your snack? Because today's episode is, like, you'll be at the edge of your seat. Let me just say that. So, Kitchen Vibes, thank you so much. They have awesome snacks. They have chapatis, samosas, kebabs, mahamri, like a range of snacks you can get from them. Make sure you give them an order and have your snacks while you're watching this episode, because it's about to go down. Like, so the other day I was with another friend of mine and we were talking about relationship. Then a topic came up, red flags. Like, I am sure you have come across a lot of red flags. Like, some of them are like, what the heck? While others, maybe it's something you can get over it. But some of them, like, character development, that's all I can say. So this friend of mine gave me a story and I asked him if I can share, and I said, like, cool, why not? So let's give them names. Let's call the guy Kevo. Then the lady, let's call her Michelle. So Kevo met Michelle in 2021 at a club. So how they met is actually very interesting, because Michelle had gone with another guy there, but then the guy left her. I think they had a fight and he left her without paying the bill. So she was stuck there with the bill. Then Kevo came over and started talking to her. So by the end of the night, long story short, Kevo ended up paying the bill for her. So after that, they exchanged numbers, they went their separate ways, then they kept talking over the phone. Or like, I think it's like 2 weeks later, like from when they met, the girl just gave him a call like, hey, Kevo, are you home? I'd like to come and visit you. He's like, oh, okay, so I'm not in at the moment, but we can meet maybe around 5-ish, because that's when I get off work. It's like, okay, no problem, just send me the location and I'll meet you then. Oh, before I forget, guys, what do you think of our setup today? Like, look at these pillows. They are so fluffy. Like, these are feather pillows by Lush Living Interiors. Like, thanks to Lush Living Interiors for making this set beautiful. What do you think, guys? Is it beautiful? Like, they have awesome covers, like pillow covers, and feather pillows. They have them in different sizes, from I think size 45 by 45 centimeters to maybe 60, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, I'll leave the link to their Instagram page. You can go check them out and order what you like. Like, I am sure you will find something, because they have so much different colors, different sizes. Like, it's all up to you. So let's get this episode rolling, guys. So Kevo get off work and went back to the house. The lady came. Then, to Kevo's shock, like, this lady showed up with a black, like those garbage bags, like the black garbage bags full of clothes. And it's like, oh my goodness, Kevo, I am so sorry to to just come here like this, but my place got burned and I have nowhere to go. Can I stay here for like a few days as I'm figuring out myself? And the guy was like, or like, you don't have any friends or anything. It's like, my friends, like most of my friends are married and the rest are living with their families. And my parents live uptown, so like, you're the only one who can help me right now. So can you please, 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 please? It's like, okay, she's already here. Why not? So the lady stayed. Now, remember, like, so Kevo is thinking like this girl is going to stay here for like maybe a few days, and besides she has like a lot going on. She'll be going to work or something, just to keep her busy as things are going. But for some weird reason, the girl was not going to work. Like Kevo asked her like, so what is the issue? Like, you don't need to get out of the house and go to work. Like, no. I imagine my work is very low right now, so our boss told us he will let us know when we can resume working. But for now, I don't need to go anywhere else. Besides, if I get out of the house, I'll just be spending money for no reason. That's why I'm just staying in the house. Like, okay. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was an excuse enough, but it was an excuse nevertheless. Anyway, so long story short, this girl stayed in that house for more than 5 months. But so no, this is the part which I was like, wow, this is a lot. So all this time when they were living together, like, so the first few months things were like okay, the girl was just taking good care of him. But then weird things started. He's like, so whenever Kevo like talks to people, like at the end of the day when Kevo is asleep, she would go check his phone, like all the call logs. Who did he talk to? For how long did they talk? And the next day ask the guy like, so who is this? Who is this? Why are you talking with them for like this long? Then this time she went ahead and like recorded some numbers, some girl numbers, which are on the call logs, and called them like one after the other. Like, why are you talking to my man? Anyway, so Kevo had to start sneaking out, like when he's picking calls. Like, if he needs to talk to someone, he'll have to go outside the house, make a phone call, then afterwards delete all the call logs and come inside. Like, and she was not leaving that house. Like, she is staying in the house. If she needs to make her hair, she'll call someone to come and do the hair in the house. Like her nails, she'll get someone to come them and do those nails in the house. And Kevo was footing the bill for all these things all this time. So, like, if someone stays at your place for like 5 months, chances are pretty good, like, things can happen. So, anyway. So, like, 5 months in, like, Kevo is wondering, like, you're not leaving? what is happening? It's like we have started staying together. So, he's like, oh, by the way, we've been living together for a very long time. Won't your parents wonder, like, where you are? And even if they come to town, like, they'll need to know, like, where you staying. It doesn't make sense to stay with a guy for all this time and nobody knows where you are. And besides, we're supposed to stay here for like a few days, but we're already doing this. So what is the plan? The girl took that as an invitation. So she just went to the bedroom, called the mom. It's like, oh, by the way, mom, so I have this boyfriend. We've been living together for some time and he wants to come for an introduction. So the mom is like, okay, tell him to come in like 2 weeks. So they plan the day and she goes back to Kevo like, Hey babe, so here's the thing. I've talked to mom and she said we can go for an introduction on this date. So they need some time to prepare, and also, can you please give me some money I send mom to start the preparation? It's okay, but it's like, that's not really what I meant. I didn't say we go for an introduction. I was just worried. What if your parents like come to Nairobi and find out that you're staying at some guy's place? Like, who is he? Because we haven't really we haven't really sat and decided what this is. So everybody's like, you know what? I honestly didn't plan to start a serious thing with this girl, and things kinda came like a snowball. Like things were snowballing. Like I didn't have time to catch a breath. Like, yo, I can't do this. And besides, I no longer get to enjoy my house. So what did he do? He just started looking for a new house. Yep. He looked for a new house, got a house in a different place, then one day he just left. He did not leave with anything, by the way. He left, blocked the girl's number, and then started a new life. So I was like, oh my goodness, what do you think, guys? Like, isn't that wild? Have you ever heard something like that? Do you know anyone who has gone through something similar? Because for me, it was like, wow. Is this how people get married nowadays? Because I'm like, what? Kevo was almost getting married. But then, as we were talking, another friend of mine just chips in. He's like, you know what? I know a guy who got married just like that. Like, he was sick. Then he told his girlfriend, like, can you please come make for me some soup? I'm really sick. I'll not be able to take care of myself. Then the girl came over, started making soup. And that's how they started living together. A few years later, they had kids. And they just had to get married. So, is this how people get married nowadays? Like, I need to know. Because if it is, maybe I need to rethink how I'm approaching some things. Well, anyway, so that's it. Like, I was like, I am seeing a lot of red flags here. If you're not even able to stay in your own house, at the comfort of your own house, make some phone calls, I was like, wow, I can do that. But anyway, so after this Kevo story, I was like, you know what, let me just go online because I am sure there are more stories. Like, I am sure I will find more stories. So I was like, so I went in and got this thread. The thread reads like, I can't believe I ignored that red flag. So I want to read you this story, then we can talk about it. The heading is like, me, Mel, 27, wife, 25. My wife won't stop comparing me to her exes. Let me read. I love my wife and think the world of her. She had some very bad experiences with her ex. I mean, like we all have. But from what I hear, hers is really bad. Okay, so let's continue. At first, I was very sympathetic and felt really bad that such an amazing woman could be treated like trash. Like, oh, this guy is so sweet. Yeah, let me continue. So when we first started dating, she would mention some experiences with her exes, maybe every other day or so. Okay. I'm not sure if that's a very good sign, but anyway. It didn't bother me at the time because I figured that it was a very important time of her life, even if it was shitty. So it must have been like therapy to her. Like, oh, okay, talking is therapy. Okay, I get that. Fast forward to now, we got married 2 years ago, bought a house, have a baby on the way. Despite all this, it's gotten worse now. She can't compliment me without talking about her ex in the same sentence. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean she can't compliment you without talking about her ex in the same sentence? So it's like, maybe you're looking nice, maybe you're from the barber, the haircut is good. Like, instead of just saying, oh, wow, that's a really nice haircut. Like, oh, you're from the barber. My ex used to do that. Is this something like that? Let me read. Let's find out together. Anyway, anytime I do anything, good or bad, she says that an ex used to do that. She has a previous lover that she still talks highly of, and how before we got together, he was the only time she has ever had good sex. let me let me take a minute. Like, what? Okay. I'm hoping there is good news after this. Even after they weren't a thing anymore, she still was friends with this guy and still is. Like, so this is the guy who got her to the big O, and she talks about how good he was, and they're still friends right now. Okay, maybe I'm paranoid, but let me continue. She talks about him too, and she sadly hints that she wishes I was more like him. Hey! She wishes I was more like him. Like, you're not enough the way you are. All of this makes me feel like she's settling for me just because I'm not an a-hole like her previous exes. Am I wrong to be upset about this? I tried talking to her and she said I'm just reacting and don't understand her. Like, what the hell? What do you mean I'm just overreacting? Like, what do you mean? You just said your ex gave you the biggest sex of your life. And then you're here telling me that I don't understand. I don't understand when you keep comparing me to your ex. Anyway, first of all, I think this is very wrong. Like, I am seeing red flags, like, all over the place. So, based on this post, I think they're still married, but I'm like, didn't you see all these red flags? Like, before you even got married, you already saw these things because she was always talking about her ex. Like, why did you go? And like, yeah, this, honestly, the way you're saying, it feels like settling. I also feel like, yes, she's settling for you. She was not planning, but you're the one who came along, and maybe she was ready. She wanted to get married, to get married and have a family, and you came along. But then I have a big issue here. Like, the sentence which got me, like, I'm just reacting. I don't understand. This made me think, like, I've been in situations, and I know people who have been in situations where, like, their feelings are not, like, how do I say this? Their feelings are dismissed. Like, there are people out there who don't bother to hear your feelings. Like, they will just dismiss you just like that. Like, you don't understand. So, like, my question is, why do people do that? Have you ever been in a situation where you're telling someone, by the way, I'm going through this? Or let me give a good example. Something that I have seen and know it happened. So, like, this time, let's call her Helen. So Helen was talking to Jane. So it's like, Helen is like, oh, by the way, I'm from town. I got robbed the other day. Like, I'm still shocked, blah, 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 blah. And Jane is like, by the way, speaking of that, I was here the other day and this happened and this happened. It's like she completely forgot Helen's story and started talking about her own story. At no point did she come back to be like, are you okay? Did something happen to you? Like, she just completely dismissed her. Same way, I feel like it's more or less the same way like this guy. Like, have you ever been in that situation where you are talking to someone, you are sharing, like you're opening yourself to someone like, I am going through this, and people don't hear you. They just completely dismiss you. Let me know in the comment. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, I think like we did an episode before like about vulnerability in relationships. So if you haven't watched that video, I think you should go watch it. The video talks about how to communicate in relationship and how to be vulnerable, talk to someone without the fear of being judged and all that. I feel like it's somehow linked. What do you think? Please watch that episode and tell me what you think. So let's get back to this episode. I'm like, there are so many red flags. What are some of the common or uncommon red flags you have seen? And be like, I think I should have ended things. So I'll start with one. Like, what is happening, guys? I feel like people either no longer know how to communicate or they just, I don't know. People don't give a shit about anyone and everyone. Let me explain. So, have you ever been in a situation where maybe you have gone on a date or you met someone, even if you are working, let me put it, even in a business setup or anything, you met someone and you're talking to that person. You find some people never bother to ask you anything. You'll be the one to ask things. So like, also, how did this happen? They will only talk about themselves throughout the entire time. The only time maybe they can ask you something is maybe in the beginning, your name, and that's about it. Other than that, like, it's all about them, and them. I have been in that situation before. I had once gone on a date with a guy, and let me tell you, the date was like maybe 1 hour, but all this time, 90% we talked about the guy. I left that date and be like, I think I'm done. I don't think I can survive in this. Like, I couldn't survive in that. So, have you ever been in that situation? Or do you know a scenario of a person who has gone through that? Let me know in the comment section. Like, I really want us to talk about these things. Like, how can we help each other to better communicate? Let's talk. Now, another red flag that I have seen that I feel like maybe it's uncommon, but it's still out there is emotional blackmail. There are people out here who will blackmail you like what? So, as I was going through the thread, I saw this post about another guy. He was talking about how his ex used to emotionally blackmail him. So the thing was, like, they had been together for some time, but the guy didn't see the relationship going anywhere. So he wanted to break up with the girl. I think the girl knew, because the girl told him, like, if you break up with me, I'm going to end myself. So the guy just stayed. But it got to a point, things were so bad, he was like, I can't do this. He just told her, I'm done. I cannot continue in this relationship. Oh, the girl did exactly what she said she was going to do. She took some pills. She was taken to hospital. Thank God she did not, die, but I'm like, emotional blackmail. This is something we all need to look out for. Like, you might be in a situation where you really want to get out, but just because someone is emotionally blackmailing you, you're not able to get out of that situation. So another thing, I don't know if I should call this a red flag, but anyway, let me just say it and tell me what you guys think. So my mom once told me, like, always pay very, very close attention to your first argument or disagreement with your partner. Let me explain. So how are they like engaging with you during those disagreements? Are they dismissive? Do they gaslight you? Or is it that they don't even let you talk? Or are they the kind of people who will just explode? These first encounters can really tell you a lot about a person. Oh, better yet, another thing to look out is, are these people communicative? Like, do they communicate with you in the sense that if maybe you guys had planned something together and then for some reason you were not able to do it. So when they change plans, do they talk to you about those plans, the change of plans, or do they just change the plans and then let you figure out later? Then you'll be the one, let's say maybe you were supposed to go out on this day at this particular hour. Then he's not able to make it or she's not able to make it and just cancels on you. So it gets to the time when you're ready to go, like, oh, by the way, so I'm on my way or I'm here. You guys like, I can't make it. I got work. So do they ever communicate such things when they change plans or not? These are really, really important. Otherwise, if they don't, my friend, it's a red flag. Run. Like, you see this? Run. Run. Oh. So, like, oh my goodness. I feel like there are a lot of red flags, but I picked a few which I felt like they're important, and some of us would overlook them at times. I would overlook them at times, but oh yes, another thing is someone who don't give a shit about you or never compliment you. Like, imagine you're with your partner, like in the situation with the story we saw, like the guy was never complimented. Like every time the girl will talk about the ex, like what is that? Like you might as well just go there. Like it feels good when your partner appreciates you. What do you think, guys? So I feel like someone needs to like compliment. It doesn't have to be every day, but if you do something, maybe change your hair, have a new look, and you look good, like someone telling you like you look good feels nice. Yeah. Then talking about the ex, like how are they talking about the ex? It's very important. So I was talking to my friend and she mentioned this, like if your partner like talks about, like maybe they have had like a number of exes, but every time they talk about the ex, any of the exes, it's just negative. The ex was maybe toxic, they were abusive, or it, like if they have dated like 5 people and then 2 happen to be that, then it's fine. But if all of them are like that, like something must be amiss. Like, so it is either they're just attracted to those type of people or they're the crazy one. And if you're not careful, you will be the one who is crazy or toxic at the end of that relationship. Do you agree? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Sweet talkers, like Have you ever met people who would literally sell you the moon? Like, they can literally sell you the moon. I am going to do this. I will do this for you. We will do this. We will plan this. Sweet talkers. Please stay away. Judge people by their action. Like, look at this. So, let's see. If you haven't watched our previous episode, like, who the F did I marry? And like that episode, I'll link it somewhere here. Like, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Like, I want you to see how a sweet talker can be. Like, they will promise you the moon, but at the end of the day, they don't do shit for you. If you're in a situation like maybe someone is a sweet talker, like, you know what? Don't be afraid to call them out. Like, let them know. Like, by the way, can you just stop this? Can you just do, if you want to do something, just do it. There is no point of you saying, you give me one lie today, tomorrow another lie, tomorrow another lie. At the end of the day, you will always be second guessing everything they tell you. So that's it. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh, let me share you now my personal red flags that I feel like it was more of a red flag, but I was like, oh, let me run very fast. So mine was a serial complainer. Let me give you a story. So I met this guy. When was this? Maybe 5 years ago. Maybe 4. I don't know. Anyway, so I met this guy. I was on the road. Like, I was, so like, let's say, like, I was trying to cross the road to get a car and go home. So this car came. It was like a V8. It just parked. So because I was trying to cross, like, I was so pissed. Like, why the hell would someone park in front of me while I'm trying to cross the road? So, like, it just came, like, I came behind the car and just crossed the road to the other side. So this guy, imagine, went all the way to the roundabout and then turned, because where I was near the roundabout. So he went to the roundabout, turned, and came to the other side where I was standing. So he just stopped. Like, the guy just stopped. So I'm just sitting there, like, minding my own business. Then this, like, Amakanga just called me, like, Madam, someone is calling you. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know anyone with a V8 right now. So why is someone calling me here? But anyway, I just went. Let me tell you, like, that man was handsome. Like, you see those handsome, he was, I couldn't tell if he was Rwandese or Somali, but he was somewhere in between there. Like, you get the picture. He looked tall, like, he had a nice body. I was like, woo! And he was driving a V8. Like, what the hell? Who is this guy? So he's like, oh, hey, so I saw you on the other side when you were crossing the road. I stopped the car, but you just went by. I would like to talk to you. I find you to be very beautiful, blah, 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 blah. I was like, in my head, I'm like, like, who is this guy? Like, oh my God, this guy just stopped for me. So I gave him my number. He's like, oh, I'm going to the airport. Maybe we can meet some other time. I'll give you a call. So I'm like, okay, cool. I left. I went home. First thing I got home, I'm calling my friend, like, babe, you cannot believe this. You can't believe it. I was like, okay, what happened? Like, I met this hot guy. Like, oh my God. I don't think it's possible to meet such a hot guy, like, on the road, let alone. So, like, I was so excited. But anyway, so the guy called me later. We talked, then we planned to meet. So we went to meet. Like, we went for coffee. After, I think we met, like, maybe after a week or something. I don't remember very well, but we went for coffee. So, like, he came, picked me, we're going. But the whole time we were going, this man was complaining. Like, he was complaining about each and everything. Like, I don't know what's wrong with the road. Why are the bumps so close to each other? I don't know. We got to the restaurant, so we are waiting to be served. Like, why are they taking so long? Then the waiter came, took the order, went. Why are they taking so long with the order? I'm like, is this how my date is going to be like the whole time? So I was like, okay. Anyway, so the waiter came, but he talked so rudely to them. I was like, no, this is not right. But anyway, we sat there like the whole time. That date went horribly. Like, honestly, it went so horribly. At the end of the day, like, I couldn't see any hotness anymore. The only thing I was seeing is complaints. Like, how can you complain this much? Like, why are you so hot and complain this much? It takes away all that hotness. So anyway, so I got back home that day and I was like, I am done. Like, that's how my guy went. Like, it was so hot, but wow, I couldn't do it. So for me, it was a serial complainer. Then another thing, like, I feel like this everyone needs to do is watch how people like treat service workers. Like, if someone is not treating service workers very well, like, no, that's a red flag. So what do you think, guys? Are there any red flags that you feel like maybe they are common or not so common that you like people needs to be aware of? If you do or have them, please let me know in the comment section below. Like, I'm waiting to read them. And if you have been through like an experience, a red flag experience, and you're like, why the hell did I stay? Please let me know. So until next time, guys, thank you so much. And as usual, please, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. And if you are listening to this episode from either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a rating. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.